All right, guys, this is Paul Singh, the Market Speculator, with the free weekly swing trade report for Monday, December 12th, 2016. This weekend on Twitter here, I talked about an under-the-radar sector that's been emerging that I haven't heard too much about, but some of these stocks are coming front and center, and that's what we're going to key in on today. But before we do that, let's get to the market here. SPY, we had our first down day here in about 6 or 7 days. Not really significant, down 0.11% on SPY. But what is significant is IWM. And remember, guys, we are focusing on this relationship between IWM and SPY right now, and the Qs, to really get a feel for what's moving and whatnot, and where we're getting these sector shifts. And we can see here, while SPY was almost flat, IWM was down 1%. And I usually consider 1% or more significant. You know, if it's about 0.5%, 0.6%, no real big deal. But when we get to 1%, this looks overheated and pulling back. And what's telling us now is that the mid caps and lower caps got hit today, and maybe not so much with the bigger guys. And then the Qs, tech actually held up pretty good at 0.45%. It looks like a natural consolidation here. So things are looking pretty good with the market. Now we've got a lot of overheated sectors. We were keyed in on that steel short, and steel has pulled back. Still love the sector. I mean, look at that volume pattern. But it's extended now. We took a parabolic short on Thursday and actually covered that today here, right under the 9. And that's kind of a key level. If it breaks here, I might even reestablish it. Even though I still like the sector, it's kind of a counter trend trade, a trend within a trend kind of trade. And then we took profits in energies. You can see energy flying, but kind of an overreaction to the news. So we got out at the open here, and then it pulled back some more. But this was a fantastic trade, about 20% gain, as was OAS, which also reversed intraday, which is why we kind of planned for this. When you get these pops in energy on the weekend over the news, it's kind of been built up all weekend. Oftentimes you get that big pop at the open and then the push down, which is what happened here. But we still love energy. And we are looking for a spot to get in. That's why I'm highlighting these, even though the trades were already made. Keep steel on your radar. Keep energy on your radar. You might not get in today, tomorrow, but there's going to be point again, maybe this week, maybe next week, maybe even after the holiday. But these are sectors you should be watching, as is XLF, and this is going to be really big. I would watch financials here, and you don't even need to stocks, just trade the ETF. So you can trade FAS, which is a triple leverage. We've got some Fed news coming out Wednesday. The meeting's tomorrow. I think the news will come out Wednesday, and that'll be we might see a big move either up or down in financials. So we're going to be on top of that. So keep a lookout at financials this week. And now let's get into the sector that is under the radar here, and that is restaurants. Not too many people have been talking about it. If you're keyed in on it, that's great. You've been keyed in on a sector that has been moving, but is not the kind of Momo pick right now. And if we see here, we've had this really nice run, basically since the election, from about 61.30 on this, the way they have it indexed here, up to 68.66. So really nice move here. And now if we go into the stocks within that sector, you're going to see a lot of really nice patterns in here. Every once in a while you come across stock that's not so good, but overall really good. So I've made some selections here, and it just happens to be, I didn't pick this. These are all places that I love. We're going to start with my favorite burger spot, and I consider myself a burger connoisseur. And I love Habit. I'll take that over Five Guys any day. And if we look here, downtrend, this was an IPO that had run nicely, but has been in a downtrend since. And all of a sudden, what has happened here, big pickup in volume. These are all things we love. Any of you guys that follow me know I like when volume is coming in. I like when we start to see these remounts. And we got the remount over the 50, and now we've got the remount over the 200. Looks like we could get a nice push to 20. So keep an eye on Habit. And then Del Taco here, which is my pick over Taco Bell when I want some cheap tacos here. And you can see here, had an earnings breakout. This was on our earnings breakout list. Now has run up to 15 and pulling back here. I want to see how it tests the 50-day moving average. If it can hold, that might set it up for its next nice run off a pullback play. And then Cheesecake Factory, who doesn't love cheesecake? You can see here their Godiva chocolate cake is my favorite. But you can see here it's run from 50 up to 65 and now pulling back. Let's see how it holds a 9. If it doesn't hold the 9, let's see how it holds the 60 range and maybe this consolidation range in here. Again, pullback play. At one of these levels, if it starts to pull back, it could set up the next run. But this thing is so overheated, it might need some time to pull back here. Now we're going to go with Dave and Buster, the fun place. I'm actually in this off the earnings breakout, but had fantastic earnings. Watch for this consolidation here, and then if you're not in it, you could play a break of the high of the range, or if it pulls back to the bottom of the breakout bar, which I'm going to hold through if it pulls back here, look for an entry at that point. Finally, out of the fast food places, hamburgers, Wendy's is my favorite. I'll take that over Carl's Jr. But look for a break of 14. We got the gap up, consolidating under 14, and now look for that break of 14. I'd like to see a little more consolidation, but again, like all of these, they've kind of flown under the radar, but it is extended here. And then finally, we'll go with 2 more. Buffalo Wild Wings, favorite places, watch UFC. Really tough for an entry here. Maybe it's kind of a weird pattern here. So I'm probably not going to trade it, even though it's got a lot going for it right now. And then Ruth, who doesn't like their steaks? Kind of this move after already being extended. So I'd like to see this work off, but it'll definitely be on my watch list for a while. And then finally, Starbucks here. Not my favorite coffee spot, but I do go there quite a bit. Now, overall, it's got a range here to break through. There's a lot of consolidation in here. I would say between 60 and 63. If it ever does get up here and break that 63 level, that would be a good thing. It has remounted the 200-day moving average, a pullback here, but I do like the volume that has come in here. So those are the restaurant stocks I'm going to be watching. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to take any of these this week, although I am already in play. And I really like Habit. I think not only do I like their burgers, but I think that remount pattern is really nice there. So that's probably the pick I would go with at this point. But that's it for the weekly report. I'll see you guys next week. A lot going on this week. Remember, there's the Fed meeting, and watch energy very closely, and then watch some of these sectors that have been overheated and are pulling back, like steel. And I'll see you guys next week.